Okay, well, change of plans because I was on my way to the damn parts store, driving my truck, hit the brake pedal, coming up to a stop sign doing 60, brake pedal straight to the floor. I thought I knew what it was because this is the third time in 2 years this has happened, and I was right. The passenger side wheel cylinder over there exploded. Cloud of smoke rolls out. I get slid to a stop, almost went in the ditch. Had a pair of vice grips in the truck because I was afraid this would happen again. So I called the parts store. They also have the stuff I need to fix in my truck. So, looks like new brake shoes, because I'm guessing my brake shoes are just so worn out that the wheel cylinder is pushing out too far and exploding. So, new brake shoes for the rear disc or rear drum brakes, new wheel cylinder for the passenger side. Why on earth did they put drum brakes on an 06 Z71 Silverado is beyond me. And before anybody says, well, that's not stock, blah, blah, blah. The four-door, short box Z71s all had drum brakes on the rear. Dumb as hell. Extended cab, long box, extended cab, short box, disc brakes. A disc brake conversion is in my near future. Just gotta stop spending money on other stuff. So, okay, I've got the rear tires off. The rear wheel spacers off. Yes, I only have spacers on the rear. The front axle is wider than the rear axle, so it looks stupid with the lift, and the back tire's tucked in, the front tire's sticking out. So I put wheel spacers on the rear. Now it's time to pull these drums off. There we have the blown out wheel cylinder. It's still under warranty, so I'll get a new one. Those brake shoes are awful thin, so I'm assuming that it's just pushing out too far because there's not enough pad left on the shoe. Let's go see how the driver's side looks. There's a lot more pad left on these shoes than there is on the passenger side. Now it's time to wire brush everything, get all the gunk off, spray it down with brake clean, and start tearing it apart. Okay, the new brake shoes are here. My wife went and picked them up. So I'm a little concerned because there's not much more pad on these as there was on the old ones. Really not that much more. So either these Brake Best wheel cylinders are no good, or my drums are worn out too much. I'm not getting new drums tonight. I'm going to put together what I have and hopefully it works fine. But if anything like this happens again, I'm not putting drum brakes back on. I'm buying the disc brake conversion kit. The conversion kit I found online a few months ago was like $398. It came with calipers, rotors, brake lines, and all of the mounting hardware to weld to your axle or bolt to your axle. So if anybody knows a cheaper version of doing the disc brake conversion on an 06 Silverado half-ton, hit me up with a link or some information. I would appreciate it. But anyways, let's get these stupid drum brakes put back on while we're at it, huh? Well, tonight is definitely testing my patience because the brake fitting broke off. Trying to get the wheel cylinder off. I've got a roll of brake line over there. I just hope I can get that fitting out. I need some whiskey. Alright, passenger side's done, except for the brake line. I'm going to wait to do the brake line because my jack stands are underneath that truck. So I am not going under here until I have it back on the wheels. But this side's buttoned up. I'll have to get the adjustment set after I get them on. Move on to side 2 after I go in the house and take a restroom break. Well, the new brake line's on. Now it's time to change the brake shoes on the other side. Hopefully I don't break anything doing that. The way my day's been going, I wouldn't be surprised if the truck just spontaneously combusted. Well, I didn't get much of a video on this side because I'm just trying to get it done, but this side is done, put back together. My lovely wife is going to get out of bed at 9 o'clock right now to come help me bleed the brakes. Alright, brakes are changed. Wheel spacers, wheels and tires are back on. The wife helped me bleed the brakes. Hopefully that's the end of this because it is like 9:45 on a Wednesday and I'm getting old. So I started my truck and put it in neutral to check the brakes. Is this normal when your truck's in neutral? Neutral with the brakes on, neutral with the brakes off. Is my 4L60 about to take a shit?